Well, I had a good day fishing one morning. It's kind of an easy walk back because the river winds back and forth and it's just all this beaver grass. And I popped up on the river about a quarter mile down, boom, looked straight ahead, saw my white marker. You see my, now I have to try to find my way in here. All right, because I only put a couple of markers and it is not easy. Trying to find what I'm trying to find. I probably should save these markers in case I'm probably not going to come back here again anytime soon. But if I go to another spot later, maybe. I don't think I'm going to go too far to later. Leave these markers here. I'm not going to go too far. Kind of tired. I'm still a little nervous about being able to even find my way out of here. Until I do. Here's my other marker. You know what? I should keep these markers in case I get lost and need to kind of mark where I'm going. Yeah. Because I could get lost and then like, okay, I'm going to start here and go this way and see what I find. And I don't mark this and come back. So, take these things for sure. I think barely on there. Yeah, so I got some nice trout. Got, 4, 5, 10-inch trout. A couple of small ones. Not as many as I thought I'd catch. I don't know if they're not biting or this fish can't be heavily fished, but it could be fished by guys who do keep them. I don't know. There's a trail, so I don't know. I expected more big fish, and I think there's some big ones in there. They just did not bite when I'm feeding them. So that's my theory. They're in there. I don't know. I put on some. One of my markers are down. Put on some. I see markers. Put a spinner on and nailed a couple of bigger ones. So I gotta try to pick up this trail. It's so unobvious. Like it's not a real trail at all. I gotta concentrate. Birdie, look what's on my helmet. I just walked in from trout fishing and literally thought I was lost. One of the sketchiest things I've ever done is this particular hike in. And look at who's here. Birdie's with me. God is with me. I'm telling you, I thought I was lost. It's so remote. How cool is it? And I come walking right up and it's our butterfly. Oh, there he goes. Hi, buddy. Beautiful. Our beautiful butterfly. There he's going. Love you. Not gonna lie, that was one of the sketchiest things I've ever done. This is the trail. Can you see it? You see a trail here? You see a trail here? Well, I had to follow this for like 500 yards. And there's deadfall and trees crashed over. And you get to the spot where the trees crashed over and like, where'd the trail go? And you're like 30 feet up, you see like a broken twig or something like an Indian. You're like, that must be it. And I didn't mark the trail going in because, I thought it was a trail. It's like a game trail. I've seen deer trails. I have deer trails on my property that are way more defined than this. And thankfully, I was able to pick up the trail and make it back to my bike. But the whole way, sketchy as mother effer. I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, I don't know. I could walk. I hear the sound of a logging truck about a mile away, maybe a mile and a half. I could walk towards it and just be like, yo, can you take me back to this place on the map? And then I could start over and, work my way back. But it's a long freaking walk and I'm hungry. I don't think I brought a protein bar. Stupid. It's all in my pack. All right, I'm gonna fire up, go eat something. Back to camp. Morning, day 2. Windy today. Sitting here cooking up some dogs. This is how I do dogs. Work smarter, not harder. I'm not gonna sit there for freaking 10 minutes holding that thing there. I'm just gonna have to feed the fire and let it cook itself. In the meantime, I'm gonna have some hot cocoa. I got the second dog I'm gonna end up eating with my breakdown spoon. Thing's pretty cool. I just heated up some river water, boiled it, and I'm gonna have some Danish. That's gonna. I eat in reverse. I eat my dessert first. I'll have some Fairlife milk. My wife is gangster. She packs me Fairlife, you know, meal size. Cause you know I drink this stuff about a half gallon a day at home, the full milk. She came home with these for my camping trip. I thought that was pretty cool because I definitely need it. It's nice and cold. I got a little ice pack that's sitting on it. I got some chips to go with my dogs. And now I'm getting on these Danishes. So it's a beautiful day. I'm just gonna chill for a few, regroup, put my waders back on, drive a few miles up river, down river, and see what else I can get into, man. See if I can pop a couple more out of the river before the day's over. I'll fish tomorrow morning and head on home. Loving every minute of it. Uh-oh, might be burning my dog. Oh, oh. Beautiful day. It kind of pooped out. Not sure why. I guess I did cover some ground. Probably walked about half a mile and then fished about a quarter mile river. Doesn't sound like much, but it's brutal. After 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I started at like 10. But it's so nice. When the sun goes down, it's a little bit on the cool side. That's why I got a hoodie on. But the sun out, it's beautiful. I can take my shirt off. Windy. Can't catch a break. It's either raining or windy, or it's a good jalapeno hot dog. I'm gonna eat my cocoa over there. I let it sit too long. It's boiling now. I should need to get that. Let's do that. Oh. I don't know. I like cocoa. It doesn't matter what time of day, year. Everything's kind of willy-nilly. Forgot my BB gun today. Thought I lost it. Then I remembered I pulled it off to take a pee, and then I must have just left it, which is good. I didn't lose it. I gotta go clean this fish though. It's too warm to have them just sitting in a bag. So what I'll do is clean them, put them in the bag, and then leave them in the river, like kind of dangling in the river, like tied to the river, but the cold water on them. Keep them fresh to later when I eat them. Oh man, the one I had last night was so good. I cooked it perfect. Sometimes you can overcook them, sometimes you can undercook them. It's tricky when they're in aluminum foil and the water is not, the fire is tricky, you know. But I got it right. Nailed it. I was hungry. Smashed it. I ate every crumb of it. It's good. Wish I had it now, because these hot dogs, I don't really even like hot dogs, but they're convenient. Cheese jalapeno hot dog, and they store well enough. I got a little tiny zip cooler with ice packs in it. It kept things cool, not cold. My last milk. I have one last milk in there. Damn it, man. Ice cold milk is so good. I'm thirsty because I haven't been drinking enough water because I only have so much water. Man, I feel like drinking that last milk. I can't. I want to save it. I'm gonna drink this cocoa. And problem is, if I want water now, I have to boil it and then let it cool down. Who wants to drink hot water? So I guess I could walk down the river and just gulp down some water and hope for the best, but you know, the problem is there's just some weird bacteria and stuff. When I was a kid, I wouldn't give a flip. I'd go out there and drink that about a gallon. And I've never got sick from drinking water, like lake or river water. Never. I've drinking this out of a puddle before when I was thirsty enough. I was dragging a deer one time. Dragging 2 deer, actually. I shot 2 deer. One I had shot and deboned it, so all the meat was in a backpack. And then I had my tree stand, my shotgun, all my clothes got warm out, so I had them all tied around me. and I was dragging a buck that I shot. And I drank all my water, and I had like a mile to go, and I was so thirsty I walked up on a puddle. I filled the bottle of water, and drank it. And there was stuff swimming around in it. Like I held it up and looked at it, and there was little shrimps going, doink, doink, doink. I didn't care. Drank it, never had a problem. But you know, who knows? I could go down there and take one sip of this and end up with diarrhea for freaking 5 days. That I don't want. So I'll boil it and wait till it cools down. You know what I can do? Boil it and fill it in my little cooler thing, and then go take it and put it in a river, and that'll get it cold. Within like an hour, I'll have cold water. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. So that's what I'm doing. You got a pot of water boiling, or gonna be boiling. I'm gonna fill it in this thing. Then I'm gonna rig up a way to tie this to the whatever shore, probably use a stick, and I'll slide it down so it kind of stays put in the river when the water's cold. I'm not saying ice cold, but it's 45 degrees or something. You know, it's almost cold as tap water. Probably colder than tap water. So after you leave it in there an hour or two, it'll nice cold water. It's a half gallon, I guess 64 ounces. Isn't that a half gallon? I don't know what a half gallon is. There's a lot of ticks around here. I've been pulling ticks off me. Pain in the ass. I hate them creepy ass things. If you don't know what a tick is, it ain't on talk. If you don't know what a tick is, consider yourself blessed. They're the creepy little land crabs that are, I imagine that's what crabs look like. Like, you know, crabs, kind people catch. They're like these little flat, they look like crabs. They're just miniature. They're tiny little crabs, and they creepy crawl up you. I woke up the other day, felt one on my face. So some crawl on my face, I grabbed it. Freaking big fat tick. I got a bite in the arm. I pulled one off my arm the other day, and it's got, sometimes if they like embed in there long enough, like you pull them off, like their head rips off and gets in there, and I don't know if it infects, but it causes some reaction where it swells up and itches like hell for like a week. Dealing with that. This is the worst tick you've ever seen. Like I you know, every year I might have like 4 or 5 ticks on me. That's it, the whole year. And I'm in the woods and stuff a lot. This year I've had like 200 of them on me. It's crazy. I don't know if it's because the weather. I don't know. I went through my berry briar. Me and my wife went for a walk through our property, and we cut through the berry briar. We were looking for mushrooms, and I looked down on my leg, and there was like 10 of them. What the frick? If anybody's had fleas, ever had fleas? I have. I've had cats with fleas bad. You gotta bomb the house. When you walk in the house and you have white socks, they know where you're at too. They know if they wait by the door, that something comes in there. So you walk in right by the door where you take your shoes off, and then boom, you look down your white socks and there's like freaking 25 of them. So I grab a lighter and just go, but you just can't get rid of them. There's always when I had kittens too. So I felt bad for the little kittens. So I'd have to go get the dip and everything and the bombs, get everything out. First you soak the little buggers in the bathtub and scrub them down, and all the fleas go to their head, and you start picking them off into the water, and then scrub them down with this flea shampoo, and then you put them in a box and then take them somewhere. And then you put these flea bombs in the house. It's like, everybody's got to leave the house for like 3 hours. And then when you come back, no more fleas. Wish I could do that for ticks. Maria really hates ticks. She just hates bugs. Although she's a killer of spiders, man. She kills all the big spiders in the house. I see a big spider, I'm like, get it. She's just, really? I'm like, you're better at it, man. I hesitate. Freaking spiders creep me out. All right, well, I'm just enjoying my cocoa. And this is a midday respite for me. It's beautiful. I haven't been thinking about what's happening in the world much. I do, wonder what my wife's doing and miss my cats. But I feel a little bad for Bill Crooks, my partner from Partners in Crime podcast. We were supposed to do a show yesterday. We couldn't. Larry said, F the haters. They can, well, I'm not going to say what he said they could do. But he's like, it'll be the day before somebody tells him who he can be friends with. Our show will continue. That's cool. That's my dog. That's why I love the guy. And so I no show this week because I'm off because of a strike. But there'll be a show next week. And frankly, he and I, and either one of us, none of us care about the petty stuff that's going on YouTube, the claims, the accusations, the defaming, the whatever. We don't care. I mean, look at me. You can see how much I care. Sipping cocoa by a campfire in the middle of the wilderness on the day I typically do a YouTube show. I could go on and respond to hate comments and trolls and whatever. If I had a signal. I had a signal earlier. But why would I waste my time? Look where I'm at. I'm in paradise. I'm going to stop and go on YouTube to engage trolls, people I don't know, nameless, faceless handles that aren't even real people. And the remarks they say are super childish and ignorant and just like goofy. Like I'm going to take time away from this to engage that? Shame on me. I need to be slapped. If I did that, I'd need to be, somebody slap me. If I ever do that, slap me. You know, my buddy Steve, we kind of had a falling out. I do miss the guy. I missed him. He was my boy. And, you know, he had lots of issues, you know, and I guess I have some too. But this is what I wanted to do with him. Like, this is what we planned to do. He was going to buy an Enduro. He was going to go riding with me. And we were going to go on adventures like this. This was my plan all along. This is what we're supposed to do. And now I'm doing it alone. It really sucks. Because it would be a good time with him. It would be a good time. Mainly because he's never done it. And I like to watch the wonderment in somebody's eyes when they do stuff. And he really loves trout fishing. He really loves the river fishing like this. And he's never fished actually a good trout river that's easier to fish. He's fished a couple tiny little ones that are really hard to fish, and it wasn't good. This is actually super easy. There's plenty of fish to catch. It's beautiful. He would be loving it. He wanted to buy a 650 Enduro, like a big shot. He wouldn't have got back here in that 650. He would have crashed in the sand, and he got hurt probably. I will warn him about that. Don't buy a big one. When you hit that sand, the sand pits on the big ones. Something small, 350 or smaller is all you'll ever need. He's driven mine. He knows mine is plenty of speed, plenty of power, plenty of oomph. He's a bigger guy. He's like 6'4", probably about 250. Anyways, while I'm sitting here enjoying this, I'm thinking about him, thinking, man, what a shame, dude. Yeah, I would have loved to share this with him. Maybe I still will someday, but I hope he's doing well. Frankly, that's all I ever wanted for the guy, to be happy. And he would often call me with all kinds of chaos and drama, and I gave him my best advice and try to build him up, try to give him to see, you know, where he's going wrong. It's why he ended up in this position. Hard-headed. But anyways, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully someday I'll get to take and do this. And you. Anyone. I'd love to take anyone to do this. I mean, dude, I would love to take someone who's never done this before and just like, yo. Boiling my water over there. And just drying out my clothes from yesterday's rain. There's my fish, bag of fish. There's my little tent. A lot of people are gonna watch this and go, man, I'd love to do that, Gunner. I'm like, holler at me. We're gonna do it. Do it together. I guess I'm getting old. I'm so relaxed in this lounge chair out here, just listening to the birds and the river. I want to go hit the river again fishing, but I'm still gonna. The last couple hours. I'm like, dude, I need to take a nap. It's so nice out. I just want to chill. I just ate, stuffed. I just want to relax, this setting, enjoy the setting. Clean my fish. They're already foiled up on ice, waiting to be cooked later. I'm just chilling. It's such a nice, peaceful setting. Tableau. That's literally a tableau. It's a French word for cool picture. It doesn't even look real. I thought I heard something. There should be nobody back here. It was crazy enough that some old man walked by. That's crazy. Die-hard trout fisherman. Die-hard. Like 65-year-old dude with a fly rod. He already walked like a mile and a half just to get here. That's commitment and dedication. That old man's gonna live to be 200. It's crazy. Most men, this type of trout fishing, most men will tap out and give it up at about age 35, 37. Most won't make it to 40. It's too physically grueling and taxing. You just can't do it. The fact that old man does it, I told him that. I said, dude, I've got the highest level of respect for you, dude. Doing this? Are you kidding me? Crashing rivers and crashing through the brush and up and down these big ass hills. And it's brutal. I'm 65 years old. I said, man, I say it all the time. If I can get to 60, if I can make it till I'm 60 doing it, I'd be happy. But, you know, you're just waiting on an injury, you know, basically one day, like I did a couple weeks ago, smashed my knee. Thankfully, it wasn't like a game-changing injury, but it could have been. That's why when it happened, I immediately thank God. Who does that? Who thanks God for an injury? I went down, boom, I felt my ankle sprain. That jolt of pain in my ankle. And my knee, I knew I cracked it. I just didn't know it was like so bruised. And that ended up being a lot worse than the ankle. But I instantly was like, oh my God, thank you, God. Like I could have snapped my knee apart, could have broke my ankle. So I was like, thank you that didn't happen. That was brutal. I couldn't fish that day. And even the next day, I was barely able to fish. But the day after that, I was able to fish decent, and I caught a bunch of big trout. So now I'm good. Now I barely even notice it's there. It's only been a week or two, I don't know, a couple of weeks. I barely even notice it's there. It still hurts. When I go to stand up from like squatting or something, sitting position, I feel it. But anyways, I'm ready to take a nap, man. I'm gonna take a nap for like an hour. I gotta go get some firewood first, because if I want to fire tonight when I come back from fishing, I need wood. So gotta go do what you gotta do, man. It's part of camping. It's always something to do. I had to crash a half a mile down this creek, smashed my leg. Come here and a nice little 8-9-inch rookie. This one fought really good. It actually hit and missed, and I started reeling in. It came back and hit it again. That's just always cool when that happens. Pretty fish though, in that light. Yeah, it's about a 10-inch fish, 9, 10, but that's a pretty fish though. Oh man, give him the light. There you go. Wow. Let's get him off and let him go. I got dinner. I had to crash an easy 1,000 yards to get here through just impenetrable everything. And this is what I was looking for, the confluence of this creek and this river. Of course, I only caught a couple smaller ones. I was hoping to catch a big one here. Didn't, so it wasn't worth the energy and the smashing and the 1,000-yard freaking death march. Now it's getting dark pretty soon. It's kind of, you know, well, I got Polaroid glasses on, so it looks dark. But you know, I gotta crash back 1,000 yards and then find my way back up to my motorcycle, which is like another 300-400 yards up on a grassy knoll trail, I guess you call it. It's not on the map or nothing. I found it. It's pretty though. There's probably some trout in that little creek too, but it's so tight that it's almost impossible to fish. I threw a worm in a couple holes, didn't get nothing. I was excited to get down to this hole. I think the trout in this river are eating something else. They're eating bugs or flies or something, not worms. So they're not excited about my worms. Some days you come in and they're just, every fish like smashes your worm, especially later in the year when they're real hungry. Right now there's a ton of fly hatches happening, and they're underwater fly hatches, so bugs coming up out of the bottom of the rocks, and they just eat them. That's what they do. So they're not really looking at worms too much. Yeah, see worms, they'll eat it, but like 9 out of 10 trout, more than that, 99 out of 100 trout, they'll let a worm go right by them. In this river right now, when what you see, this stretch of river as far as you can see, it's probably 3,000 trout in it. Most of them are small, but there's some hogs in there too. And they didn't get to be hogs by accident. They got to be hogs because they're smart. They have good instinct. And nobody really fishes here because it's impossible to get here. So it can't be the fishing pressure. I'm not catching them because it's just relatively impossible. You have to be, even a diehard trout fisherman would have to be a nut to freaking try to get out here. And I'm trying to feel my way along so I can get my snag out. All right, I'm gonna go break brush and try to make my way back. If I get lost, you'll see a video. Nice fish hit a certain way and feel a certain way, and this fish I think is one. Let's see if I can get him. Oh, whenever I do that, I set the hook and I miss him. That's why I told the phone on and try to set the hook and get the full thing, and I always miss them because I can't do a proper hook set when I'm got the phone in my hand because I can't reel and pull, and I end up blowing it. Felt like a nice fish, nice heavy thump thump, and it didn't run. When it takes it and just stays, that's usually a big one. And when little ones run away, try to get away before somebody else takes it from them. The big ones, just don't, so right to the bottom and sit there, heavy weight. Had my last piece of worm on. Actually, it was like 2 halves of a worm. I said, I'm gonna drift him down there. First cast. This little guy fought like a tank. I thought he was a way bigger fish. He's only about a 7-8 inch fish, but dang, he freaking went berserk on me. Got in the current. Very pink in color. Some are more orange than others. I hope he didn't swallow the hook. If he did, I'll be eating him. I don't want to just throw him back. Dead. Yeah, this is a nice fish. I got him way out, I hooked him way out there. I mean, way out there. Well, I don't know if he's a nice fish, but he was out there. Felt like he fought good, but then his current, they can get in there and really tug. And first minute or so, he was way out there. Oh, this is a nice 9-inch fish. What a beautiful fish. Beautiful. My last worm. So got him down to the last worm. He's just hooked in the lip. I can pop it out. He can go, and I can turn and burn. Look at that. It's a beautiful setting right there. Beautiful scene. That's what I've been doing all day long. Got him. That's another beautiful eater, probably 9 inches, perfect for eating. Get him back in the water. Let him breathe, because I got to be in the water to breathe. Pretty fish though. Pretty fish, real pink. It's my day. Probably caught 20, so can't complain. I mean, 20 trout in a day. This is the setting, all alone, beautiful. Now I got to do the hard part, crashing through that. Oh, man, it looks like it wouldn't be that bad, but trust me, it's freaking mangrove swamp, dude. And I got like 1,000 yards to go, like a quarter mile. It sucks. I have to stick to the creek over there because that's the only way I can find my way back is the creek. There's a tree that fell over and I marked it. So off I go. Kind of cool. I'm walking, I'm breaking brush through this swamp to get back, and I see this like piece of wood like blasted off here. It looks like lumber. I smell lumber. That's what I have. It smells like a lumber yard. I looked, there's another piece, and I'm like, look at what happened. Tree got hit by lightning. Boom. goes to show you how powerful lightning is. Look at it did. It like, I don't know where it hit. It hit way up there. I can see, you can't, it's on the other side of the tree, but it's like, I don't know if it hit the top, close to it. You can see there's a lightning bolt strike burn that goes all the way down. The whole thing, starting up there, comes down. Why it hit that tree, I don't know. That is a huge red pine though, huge. It might die. Jeez, that is a big freaking tree, man. That thing's 150 feet tall. I'm not joking. It's not like the biggest red pine I've ever seen. It's just very, very tall. It's a freak. It's a freak, man. I'm legit 125 feet, easy 125 feet tall. Boom, but look at what happens when it freaking blows the crap. Imagine standing here when that happened. Boom! Blows that tree to bits. Might die. Crazy. Not gonna lie, keeping it real. I was scared. Scared I got lost. I could have been. And the reason for that is this little creek, which was my landmark, it splits into like 2 or 3 little tendrils. And I only remembered the one. I marked the one. Probably can't see it up there, but there's a white plastic bag hanging in the tree and a piece of birch bark there. Now I'm crying. This is insane trying to crash through this. I mean, it's exhausting. I'm all scratched up, smashed my leg. Man, I've been going for, I scratched my head again. Come on. I've been going at this for about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. And it's just nonstop breaking brush, scratching yourself, stepping in beaver grass. See, these are little beaver grasses, like runs in here. I just wait, go right through it. And you'll step in one spot and it'll turn to mush and it'll fall right in. It's all mucky like that. I just stepped in it. All this moss stuff is in fact mushy. Look at it. There's water in there when you're trying to walk along. And it's tough. But I made it back to my mile marker there. So there's a trail over here to go in. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna keep that plastic bag just in case I ever need a mile marker or a waypoint. Had it wasn't for this thing, I could be out here all night just going and going and going through this, and it's exhausting. What the hell is that? There's a box or something on the tree over there. What the hell does that say? Hunting in progress or something. Now I want to read it. Let's see if I can get over here on this dead cedar tree without breaking my leg. There's like a sign or a box or something. Your eyes aren't good enough to see it. No hunting or trespassing. So it must be private property on that side, but that sign is old as hell, like 50 years. Who the hell would put a sign there? No trespassing. In the middle of the woods. In the middle of the frickin' woods. I mean, you couldn't get more remote than this. I want to put a sign up. It's insane. Anyways, I'm at it. I'm going fishing. I mean, going back to get my motorcycle. This is the trail. I drove down this for miles. I didn't even call it a road. Beautiful. Underground cable. I saw a sign that said underground cable. What the hell was that? Power line? They're in the middle of mother effing nowhere. I'm up on my camp. Good, because I'm a little cold. Got tank top on. For some reason, I keep beating up on this leg. And I was out there crashing, and this leg's fine. I've had 3. Jeez, oh Pete, that's the fresh one. That's the new one. Just took a hunk out of my leg. I just do my waders too. It's gnarly, man. There's a neosporin on there. This is when I crashed my bike. No, it feels like I smashed it here today. That's the old scab I just must have ripped off. That's deep, nasty. Anyways, that's the type of stuff I'm going through. This time, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit panicked. I got an hour before sunlight left, and I just caught a huge tick biting me. A freaking tick, big nasty one. Oh, it's in there, good mother. Look at this thing. Look at that freaking sucker, man. I hate those things, man. At least it wasn't on my balls. Never had that, but it would suck. He's in there deep. I pull hard, he's gonna itch. But yeah, an hour of daylight left, and a candy stuck on my tooth. I marked my one way in. A little piece of paper, plastic. It's this super dense jungle, and this creek that breaks into like 5 different tendrils. And if I pick the wrong one, I'll be out here all night, just aimlessly with FMI. I think my phone GPS does kind of work because my wife downloaded the map. So it could get me in the right direction towards the trail, but the trail is so undefined and it wraps away that I could be walking all night looking for it. There's nobody out here. I have 1 piece of candy for carbs. And like a bottle of water. That's it. Well, I'm smart. I made my way back exactly the way I went. I stuck to the river like glue. It was hard. It was hard to stick to the river. I wanted to take shortcuts and go around all the thick stuff, but you go around the thick stuff, you go around your marker. Then you're all night. I just had to crash my way through, and that's what the frick happened with my leg. Clearly I've been bleeding. But whatever. Had a good time. Probably caught today, I'd say caught 20 trout, at least 10 that are around 9 to 11 inches, which is, phenomenal. That's all you can ask for. But I'm kind of asking for a big one. I'm looking for a 16, 17, 18 incher. They're in here. Probably won't bite a worm. So I have to use a spinner all the time. Problem with the spinner all the time is A, you're going to get snagged a lot. B, you're not going to catch many fish. The ones you do catch will be big. So it's a trade-off. I like to catch the little ones. I think I'd rather catch a lot of little ones than one big one. Sooner or later, I'll get a big one. Could be this year, could be 10 years from now, but I'll get them. I got a bunch. I've got 15 brook trout that are trophy size. I got 5 or 6 brook trout between 15 and 16 inches, maybe even 17. And I got another 15 of them that are 13 to 15 inches. So big boys. I haven't caught a whopper though in a few years. That's why I'm here. I was hoping to get one, but we'll get them. I go home tomorrow. I'm out of bait, so spinners are nothing. So that is what it is. All right, I'm gonna get a fire started, cook my fish, dry out my waders, clean up my mess, and my last evening out here. It'd be nice if I saw an elk. I keep looking over there because I feel like at some point I'm going to see one. A whole herd of them. That'd be cool. I'm listening to the birds, I'm listening to the dove, I'm going to listen to the river, listen to the fire, enjoy my night. Maria, I had 2 bars back on the trail a couple miles away, and all my texts came through, and I texted her, and she's like, because I haven't talked to her, and she's all freaked out. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, relax, I'm fine. Having a good time. Just, all right, no signal. We'll be home tomorrow. All right, I'm going to start this fire.